Let us explore the 10th verse of the Great Garuda in Flight, a Dzogchen classic. Together, let us relaxingly recite the root text, composed oh so many centuries ago by Vajra of what was then known as Odiana, but now is known as the Swat Valley of Pakistan. Together. For those who conceptualize, wrong button. For those who conceptualize the authentic condition, meditation becomes a mere reflection. They become sick of attachment by desiring the great bliss. If they do not apply the medicine of abiding in the state of unchanging equality, then even the cause of progress to higher realms becomes infected by delusions. Okay, frightening words. Let's see what they mean. For those who conceptualize the authentic condition, let's see what that means. To do that, wrong button. To do that, I'm going to tap button 9. So what is meant by the authentic condition? Sturgeon's law reminds us that 90% of everything sucks, including meditation teachers. What could that suckiness look like? It looks like sincerely believing that being rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel is awesome. The people who are like this often implore their students to actively concentrate and actively analyze. Doing this not only exhausts the prefrontal cortex and causes us to present with symptoms of depression, but it triggers our amygdala, the seat of both anxiety and aggression. And let's face it, people, that's not why we meditate. We don't meditate to become more anxious or more cranky. However, every time we feel air enter our nostrils, our sympathetic nervous system, ensconced within the middle third of our spinal cord, has evolved to help us to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination. These are what we've evolved to notice. The 90% would say, no, you must focus on one thing or no thing. But we are evolved to notice vulnerably, passively, and randomly. Whatever comes up, be it external or internal, physical or mental, pleasurable or painful, interesting or boring, glorious or grotesque. Whatever comes up is the condition. And the degree of its authenticity is measured by the degree of the vulnerability, passivity, viscerally, randomly, and fleeting manner in which we confront it. Let's return to the root text. Well, I guess while we're here, we might as well hit this. So now that we've explored mindfulness? What do we do with that which we've noticed? Well, what if meditation was just a fancy term for physically relaxing in harmony with our exhalation? For every time we exhale, we have evolved to automatically access the parasympathetic facet of our autonomic nervous system, which is divided between both the lower third and the upper third of the same spinal cord. This parasympathetic aspect of our autonomic nervous system has evolved to help us to physically relax each time we feel air exit our nostrils, to such a degree that which we noticed during our previous inhalation could literally feel, fleetingly feel as not less stressful, less permanent, and even less defining. Now, armed with this context, let's return to the root text. For those who conceptualize the authentic condition, meditation becomes a mere reflection. So reflection here is not the noun, a reflection in a mirror, but a verb, which is a synonym for contemplation. So let's return. Let's hit button 9. So we have a choice. We can actively contemplate, or we can passively relax. Active contemplation will exhaust our body, it will exhaust our mind, it will exhaust our emotions, it will trigger our amygdala and exacerbate both our anxiety and our aggression. However, cooperating with the sympathetic and parasympathetic facets of our autonomic nervous system will calm our amygdala and gently stimulate the anterior cingulate gyrus, which functions as the hub of our mirror neurons, the seat of empathy, which in turn is the root of both compassion and love. This is why the ancients referred to our autonomic nervous system as our Buddha nature. Everybody with a fully functional spinal cord is capable of doing this. This is a question of having been taught how to do it. And doing it is as simple as silently and mentally reciting the demonstrative pronoun this each time we feel air enter our nostrils, and silently and mentally reciting the one-syllable verb ease each time we feel air exit our nostrils. We don't have to do this 24/7. We can do this for as little as 5 minutes, maybe 12 hours or so. We can do this while lying, or lying down, or walking around the block, or sitting as sustainably as we know how. Whether that is sitting Buddha style, or whether that's sitting using a kneeling bench, or whether that's sitting on a chair. Let's return to the root text. For those who contemplate, for those who conceptualize the authentic condition, meditation becomes a mere reflection. They become sick of attachment by desiring the great bliss. Now, I think this is unfortunate preposition. So I'm going to adjust this. Please bear with me. So When I was a little kid, I used to watch reruns of The Little Rascals on my black and white TV set with terrible reception. And there was one episode where they used a carrot dangling from a fishing pole to inspire a donkey to walk forward. And we are like that. We're the donkey, and our carrot is bliss. And we chase after it. And this is attachment, and it kind of makes us sick. It forces us to present with symptoms of depression. It exacerbates our anxiety and our aggression and make us utterly miserable. This is not some great celestial punishment. This is just the consequence of letting ourselves be controlled by our dopamine-oriented reward system. We have two reward systems in the basement of our brain. The dopamine one is competitive. The oxytocin one is cooperative. The competitive, self-centered reward system can give us fleeting pleasure. It's evolved to be fleeting because it serves reproduction, and the genes that drive reproduction don't care about the fulfilling nature of our relationships. They just want us to spread as much seed as possible, regardless of how much drama and heartbreak it causes. The dopamine-oriented system rewards for cooperation with sensations of long-term fulfillment. And so the great irony is that the long-term bliss we seek is not the result, is not found upon the path of competition, but cooperation. And that path is accessed by cooperating with our Buddha nature, by cooperating with our autonomic nervous system, by vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly noticing in harmony with our inhalation and then relaxing in harmony with our exhalation. That's the path that is blissful in the long term. Let's continue. If they do not apply the medicine of abiding in the state of unchanging equality, then even the cause of progress to higher realms becomes infected by delusions. One can ape the posture of a Buddha statue. One can regurgitate various lines that are alleged to be scripture. That doesn't mean one has true wisdom or true peace or true love. The test of the teachings is not how old they are. It is not how popular they are. The test of the teachings are simply this: the effect they generate in our heart and mind. Do they increase our peace or diminish our peace? Do they increase our love or diminish our love? Do they make us kind or do they make us cranky? Do they turn us from sincerely loving, spontaneously happy people into cowards who fear celestial punishment and are greedy for supernatural blessing? For those are two separate paths. And the highest love, the love that is centered and spontaneous and uncontrived, the love that helps us to flow, helps our choices and our utterances and deeds to flow from centered spontaneity, is the product of the authentic mindfulness and meditation that are not concentration, that are not active contemplation, that are not active concentration, but are passive, vulnerable, randomly noticing and relaxing. Perhaps that is why one of the most famous nicknames for enlightenment is nothing special. Perhaps that is why the Buddha promised one could master his very easy, simple path in as little as 7 days. Having completed our opening lesson, we could now shift gears. Come on, coordination, don't fail me now. It is General Leia Organa's Saturday morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. You can tell the camera angles are a bit off due to a flare-up of my arthritis. I'm sitting in a chair this morning as opposed to sitting on the floor. This is the Dzogchen Sende Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I have harnessed my autistic special interests as well as my ADHD hyperfocus to spend about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that I can become your personal, nerdy, neurodivergent guide to nirvana. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. For the remainder of this morning's live stream, let's play with the latest iteration of very easy meditation practice text, or sadhana, if you're nasty. So, once again, every time we feel air enter our nostrils, we could silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this, helping us to notice, which is mindfulness. Every time we feel air exit our nostrils, silently and mentally, we could recite the one-syllable verb ease, which helps us to relax, which is, of course, the essence of meditation. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist philosophy or meditation, do not hesitate to type your question in great detail in the chat window, for I tend to check for questions approximately once every 13 minutes or so. I'm going to switch from my folding chair to the couch, so there's going to be some camera movement. Okay, here we go. All right. We're going to shift gears. Every time we feel our lungs fill with air, we could silently and mentally recite the three-syllable verb noticing. Every time we feel our lungs there's a wonderful antonym for swell. Sink. Every time we feel our lungs sink, our chest sink, we could silently and mentally recite the three-syllable verb relaxing. Noticing is the only label we need ever use for whatever it is we notice, be it perception, emotion, intention, thought, memory, or imagination. Be it external or internal or physical or mental or pleasurable or painful or interesting or boring or glorious or grotesque. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 10 3/4 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's evening meditation class as well as group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.